Yes, Harathi, hope you are good.
Yes, sir, I am. I hope you're doing good as well.
Yes. So you are from Telangana state.
Yes, sir.
Your state have how many districts?
31, sir.
31 or 33?
Sir, I'm sorry, it's 33.
So there are 33 districts. Earlier, how many states your region had?
State,
How many districts your region had earlier?
the Telangana region.
United Andhra Pradesh.
Sir, I believe it was 24, sir.
It is 23. So in that your region, how many districts you have?
Sir, I believe it was 11 or
10.
13.
10. 10. 10, 9 plus 4. So my question is, so you are aspiring for Indian Administrative Service. More the number of districts is good for governance or less the number of districts are good for the governance?
Sir, broadly speaking, more the number of districts means smaller, that each district would be smaller in size. It improves the efficiency of governance because the administration can better stay in contact with the citizens. Taking the case of India, Telangana, for example, before the reorganization, the average size of the district and the size of the population in that district was twice the national average. So this was impeding the governance in Telangana and hence the decision to reorganize. So there are also other benefits of having smaller districts. For instance, each district has district headquarters. This acts as a growth center for the entire district. So there are some benefits, but we cannot say that simply having more districts will automatically lead to better governance. So we should also complement this with empowering the local bodies. So together, small districts and empowered local bodies are a better way for decentralized and efficient government.
So you're talking about empowerment of local bodies. Your state had came up with a Model Panchayati Raj Act in 2018. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir, I am.
What are the provisions of it? Most important provisions?
Sir, the main objective of the Act is to improve the funds, functions, and the functionary scenario of the local government, as well as improve the accountability of the local governing bodies. So it reorganized the Gram Panchayats and it clearly devolved the functions as roles and responsibilities of different functionaries within the local bodies. Uh, so this was coupled with accountability measures such as
So can
regular
you be specific
inspections. So specific
regarding the act? What changes they brought?
Okay, sir. Sir, I believe it was mainly the reorganization of the Gram Panchayats.
How?
So the size wise as to reorganizing the territorial area of the Gram Panchayat and clearly demarcating the roles of the functionaries at different levels. And it also tried to address the shortage of functionaries by recruiting junior village secretaries, panchayat secretaries, for instance. And it also had a mechanism for regular inspections by the district administration. And as a part of this, the government also conducted Palle Pragati drives to augment the implementation of the act.
The most important thing is check power was been given to the sarpanch, which was not the case earlier.
Okay.
The sarpanch would take the proposal to the district collector, and the district collector would be sanctioning the amount. Okay. Now it is at the dispersal of the sarpanch with the approval of the gram panchayat.
Oh, okay.
That is a major thing. That is important. Finance is very important. Okay. Your state's death rate in COVID times is 0.5%, whereas all over India it is 1.4%. So why your state death rate reduced? What your chief minister did that much?
Sir, for one, one of the reasons is the COVID was managed better in the state, in Telangana state compared to neighboring states. That is for one. But another reason behind very low death rate is, I believe, that deaths are not being accounted well. When there are multiple complications that resulted in death along with COVID, there are cases it is being attributed to the other complications rather than COVID per se. So the administration is trying to resolve this issue so that we can get a true picture of what is happening with the COVID.
And your state is also, the news is reporting that the tests for COVID are very less, because of which the number of cases reported are less. Is it true?
Yes, sir, it is true. The administration has indeed accepted that there are shortage of testing kits, especially in the rural areas. It is being resolved. But in the meanwhile, the administration has passed orders that anybody who's approaching hospitals with the symptoms and requiring healthcare should be provided healthcare, irrespective of the test results, whether or not they have tested.
Earlier, your state did not join Ayushman Bharat, but very recently it joined Ayushman Bharat. Whether I have to consider it from the perspective of the administration or politics?
Sir, I believe it is a mix of both. Initially, the state scheme, which was the Arogya Shri scheme, it was well established in the state, and because of the centralized nature of Ayushman Bharat, the state government was reluctant to join it. Now, coming to the situation of the pandemic, the need for more expanding the scheme has arisen, and the government has decided to join the scheme.
So, what is the benefit of joining Ayushman Bharat?
Sir, it is an insurance scheme. It is basically an insurance scheme for the poor.
How much insured amount?
Sir, I believe it is, if I'm not wrong, it's 5 lakhs per year per family.
5 lakhs. Then why he joined now? Why your chief minister joined now?
Sir, as I said, our need was felt to augment the Arogya Shri scheme. It was no longer enough, given the huge demand for insurance in the current pandemic situation.
What is Arogya Shri?
Sir, it is a state-led insurance scheme for the BPL population mainly.
For all the diseases?
I'm not aware of it, sir.
The tertiary?
It is probably for the tertiary care that generally costs more.
Yes. And Kaleshwaram project is the most advanced project in India, according to your state socio-economic survey. Why is it so?
Sir, it is the world's largest lift irrigation scheme. Nowhere in the world has any country attempted to lift water at such a magnificent level. For instance, now the water is being lifted to almost 0.5 kilometers from the northern Telangana, the Godavari River, to the southern part. So this is why it is said as the biggest project ever.
Is it a multi-purpose project?
Sir, it is mainly for irrigation, sir. It is mainly an irrigation project, but yes, it could also be used for drinking water purpose.
Government of Telangana says bedrock of Telangana's economy is information communication technology policy of 2016. So is it that much good policy, ICT policy 2016 of your state?
Sir, the ICT policy 2016 has definitely spurred the IT development in the state. Not just in Hyderabad, it also includes aspects of decentralizing the IT development outside Hyderabad. So taking clue from the policy, IT incubators are being developed in the tier 2 cities like Warangal, etc. So yes, I believe in the future, the policy is going to guide in decentralization of IT industry.
What is TS iPass?
Sir, TS iPass is a single window clearance system for starting an industry in the state. The key aspect of this TS iPass is that it has timelines for every kind of approval, and inbuilt automatically, if the timelines are exceeded or not met by the administration, clearance will be automatically granted. So that is the key feature. Earlier, for clearance, an investor had to approach several departments. Now it's just single window where all the departments have come together.
And your state came up with a very good reform. I also know about it. I also believe it's a very good reform. Dharini. What is this Dharini portal?
Sir, Dharini portal is mainly to digitize and streamline the land record management in the state. As we know, in Telangana as well across the country, land record management has been a major problem because there's corruption at the ground level when getting land registered, or there is snatching away of the land. The records are sometimes not updated. This has given to a lot of problems like litigation. or long time taken for acquiring lands for developmental purposes, etc. So the Telangana government has come up with Dharani portal. It's a single web portal where all aspects related to land record management can be addressed. Getting purchase, selling, getting your land registered, agricultural purposes as well as non-agricultural purposes can be done. So yes, sir, I believe it's a good reform.
How it is different from other portals like Bhumi portal of Karnataka?
Sir, other portals like Bhumi portal, it differs mainly in that it addresses all aspects of the land record management. Generally, so far what we had was other states, they were addressing some particular aspect, let's say agriculture related aspect, or giving some identity number for the land rather than addressing the root cause from the initial stage to the end.
I will add one point. This you can add by because it's very successful. See what will happen if I want to buy a land. If I go to a registered office, they used to blindly do the registration earlier. Now what happened? The registration will happen on the based upon survey number. So for example, I am going to buy 1 hectare of land in the survey number 272. So what this Dharani portal will do, when they go for registration, when the sub-register go for registration or MRO go for registration of agriculture lands, now here in this, the MRO got the power to do registration for agriculture lands and sub-register for non-agriculture. So for the 272 survey number, when I am buying, it will be some A, B, C, D, 272A, 272B, 272C. So I am buying 272C. So when I go for registration, then the portal will give a thread call to the sub-register and MRO that in this survey number, there is a litigation. So what will happen? The system will not, the Dharani portal will not allow for registration. So it give awareness to this particular buyer who is going to buy the land that already there is one particular litigation on this case. So there will not be any fraud with respect to buying and selling. Then what the sub-register and MRO will do, he will do the inquiry, whether it is the case is on total survey number 272 or on the subparts of 272A, 272B, 272C. So then when he opens it, then he will come to conclusion that yes, there is a litigation on 272 survey number, but it is on the subpart of 272B. So it is not related to 272E. So what will happen? There will be a push button. So directly he will do the registration. So he know that there is a litigation, but not related to his survey number's subplot. Whereas there is a litigation with the survey number, but not with this. So it's very clear. Yes, so the best of the Dharani portal is the registrations are becoming litigation.
Okay. Yes, yes.
You told the lift irrigation. What is lift irrigation?
So, in lift irrigation, we use power electricity to lift water from a relatively lowered surface to the above surface, to a bit of height to irrigate the fields there.
So is it not requirement of high generators, high power supply?
Yes, sir. It is power intensive.
Is it not disadvantage then?
Sir, it is a matter of priority, sir. If our priority is to save power or to irrigate land. In case of Telangana, the government has decided that the main priority is to irrigate the southern districts of the state.
See, while going through your socio-economic survey 2021, I got a very good point. Despite COVID-19, the year 2020-2021 had a robust agriculture growth rate in your state. It is 20.9%.
Yes,
how it happened?
Sir, in the first wave of the pandemic, it mainly affected the urban areas. So the rural areas, the economic operations there, especially agricultural, were relatively scot-free. But on the other hand, because of the urban situation, the markets were affected, the demand was affected. Here, government stepped in and procured large quantities of agricultural grains. That's why the production has not been affected and the agriculture could keep its growth rate.
What is Raitu Bandhu, Raitu Bharosa, Raitu Bima?
Sir, Raitu Bandhu is a investment support scheme for the farmers. So every farmer who owns a land gets 10,000 rupees per acre per year, and so this acts as a investment support so that he can purchase his inputs before the start of the agricultural session. Raitu Bima is a life insurance scheme for the farmer, sir. If the farmer who is generally the main breadwinner of the family passes away, then the family will be compensated through the right to Bima scheme. Sir, I'm unable to recall the details of right to Bharosa, but I believe it's a insurance scheme as well.
Very good. There is something called as T idea and T pride. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir. I have heard of them. I believe they are efforts to improve the entrepreneurship and innovation levels in the state.
Correct. T idea is for general entrepreneurial skills, loans provided. T pride is entrepreneurial skills for Dalits. That is the major.
Okay.
Genome Valley is there in your state. Where it is and why? What is the significance of
it? Sir, Genome Valley is present in the limits of GHMC. It's a pharma cluster mainly known for biopharma companies.
Hyderabad is called as Pharma City of India. Why so?
Sir, much of the production with regard to pharmaceuticals happens in Hyderabad, in and around Hyderabad. In fact, Hyderabad accounts for nearly 1/3 of India's pharma production and exports. There are a lot of pharma clusters like the Genome Valley in Hyderabad. So, and hence the tag that that Hyderabad is known as the Pharma City of India.
This Pharma City got NIMZ status. What is this NIMZ? The full form?
Sir, I believe it's National Industrial Manufacturing
Investment Manufacturing Zone.
Investment Manufacturing Zone. Sir, it's a step. If an area is declared as an NIMZ, then the government will provide certain infrastructure necessary to attract the businesses and investors. So, and that is the NIMZ status. It is similar to SEZ or the Special Economic Zone.
If it is similar to SIZ, then it should be called as SEZ only, no? Then why they named it as NIMZ? There will be some difference.
Yes, sir. The main difference is in NIMS or NIMZ are mainly for manufacturing sector. On the other hand, SEZ does not have sectoral specification. It could be services or it could be manufacturing it.
Correct. Your state is famous for handlooms and societies of handloom weavers also. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir, I am.
So what is this handlooms and why there is high suicidal rate among these handloom weavers?
Sir, handlooms Telangana is traditionally known for varieties of handlooms such as Pochampalli, Narayanpet cotton, Ikat weaves, etc. But the problem is, sir, the weavers have lost market in the age of machine-made clothes and import of cheap clothes from abroad. So, despite having the weavers here are reliant on the traditional method of weaving, and they have not been able to compete with the other options in the market. So as a result, they have lost their incomes and then their employment, which in turn has resulted in unfortunate suicide.
What is handlooms? Handloom is how they will do.
It is it's with the hands, basically. They do not use any machine. From the scratch, the entire, let's say, sari is weaved with hand-run machine, small tools. So it's a non-power based.
In your arts and artisans of your state, there is something called as Dokra. Are you aware of this?
Yes, sir, I've heard of it. I believe it's metal craft, sir.
Very correct. Nirmal painted furniture of your state got a geographical indication. What is this?
What is geographical indication or
Nirmal? Nirmal.
Yes, sir.
Painted furniture got a geographical indication status.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir. I am aware of Nirmal paintings getting GI tag.
So why is it so unique?
Sir, I am not aware.
At the time of formation of Telangana, Sri Krishna Committee was being constituted by the Ministry of Home Affairs. Yes, and this Sri Krishna Committee was given the responsibility to give the recommendations to the government whether to divide, bifurcate or not. and it gave 6 recommendations to the government.
Yes, yes.
Can you tell me those 6 recommendations?
So one of the recommendations is the bifurcation as it happened now.
That is the last and the least recommendation, 6th recommendation.
Yes, sir. I believe the first was to let the status quo be as before, and another recommendation was to Telangana Rayalaseema, as to join Telangana with Rayalaseema to form Telangana Rayalaseema region. I believe one of the recommendations was to provide a special status to the Telangana region within the United Andhra Pradesh so that the aspirations can be met better. I'm sorry, I'm unable to recollect other 2 recommendations.
Correct. 4th is giving Hyderabad Union Territory status.
Yes.
Likewise, very good. There is another like TS IPAS, there is a T Hub in your state. What is this T Hub?
Sir, T Hub is an incubator, sir. It's like an innovation cell. It is located within the limits of GHMC. The T Hub provides aspects such as infrastructure, technology, market access, mentorship, etc., so that business ideas can be transformed into successful business. So it's an attempt by the government to promote entrepreneurship and innovation in this.
What is Mission Bhagiratha?
Sir, Mission Bhagiratha is a scheme of the government of Telangana to provide drinking water supply to all its inhabitants through household tap connection.
See, Hyderabad Metro Railway was being seen as a very strategic and a long dream, but the economy report, the status quo report tells that Hyderabad Metro Rail is a failed project. What is your opinion on this?
Sir, I do not consider it as a failed project as of now. It has started only recently. The one reason why it's being considered a failure is because of the relatively higher cost of the ticket price. The project is a PPP project where the private sector had a very large contribution compared to the government. And as a result, in the ticket pricing, etc., are decided more by the private sector. So, and hence the higher price. But I think we should give the project some time so that it can prove itself in the coming years.
What is this KCR kit?
Sir, as a KCR kit is a kit of utilities as well as some cash given to mothers, those women who became mothers newly. So the idea is to compensate for their wages, which could have been lost because of the pregnancy, as well as support them with some basic utilities through the lactation and coming period. So overall, it's an effort to support the maternal health and well-being of the mother.
One thing is true that your state is very successful in reducing IMR and MMR. That is needed, appreciated. See, if you become a district collector or you are given the authority to decide. Why? Because in your state, I came to know that the lockdown is from 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. From 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., they are allowed to go out. They can be as normal as earlier.
Yes.
So is it not because of this 4 hours in Telangana and 2 hours in Maharashtra lockdown free? So people again coming together. Yes. So there is no case that the coronavirus will be controlled. Why? Because if they are not coming for 20 hours outside or 22 hours for outside, but 2 hours they are coming outside.
Yes, sir.
So what would be the effective step so that the lockdown continues for 24 hours and the essential needs reach the household?
Sir, there are multiple steps that can be taken. For instance, the 6 to 10, the 4 hours period can be split between morning and evening so that some can venture out in the morning and others in the evening. And there is a possibility that all might venture out 2 times, but we have to persuade people to use the 2 separately. And besides, I think we have to promote more of home deliveries, even in rural areas, if possible, with the help of volunteers. The ration should be delivered to the homes, etc., so that people do not have to venture out. I think the administration has to pay more attention to changing the behaviors of people, persuading them to not venture out. Let them know the actual intensity of the problem and the need to stay indoors.
So you used ration. How many types of ration cards are there? How many colors of ration cards are there?
Sir, I'm not sure, sir. I believe it's two types, sir, two colors.
Okay. So in your state, two colors, huh?
I am not aware.
It's white and yellow. White is below poverty line. Yellow is above poverty line. What is Asara pensions?
Sir, these are pensions given to the old age persons, monthly pensions, mainly targeted at BPL population.
How much money they are getting?
Sir, I believe it's 200 per month.
Asara pension 3,000, no?
Per month, sir.
Per month only.
Oh, sorry, sir.
For age-old people, for widows, they are being paid 3,000. What is this double bedroom scheme of your government?
Sir, to ensure that everybody has access to affordable housing, the government has started construction of double bedroom houses. So the idea is not to provide just a room and call it a house or home, but with dignity, the government wants to provide double bedroom homes. So that is the project, sir, to provide these houses to the poor sections of the city.
Whether they are distributed?
Yes, sir, the process has started.
What is Haritha Haram?
Sir, Haritha Haram is a plantation drive in the state. The idea is to plant saplings and take care of them to improve the tree cover and the tree management in the state.
So it's only about the planting, or is it also about the taking care about the plants?
Sir, it is mainly about the planting, sir, but the administration is trying to make sure that the plants are actually being taken care, because many cases what happened was trees were planted but they were not taken care of, resulting in death of the plant. So we do not want that. So the administration is trying to persuade people to take care of the plants.
In your state, 2 tiger reserves are there. Can you name them?
Sir, Amrabag and Kawal.
Earlier you used a word called as Palle Pagrati. What is Palle Pragati?
Sir, Palle Pragati is a mission mode drive to improve the quality of life in the rural areas and also improve the functioning of Gram Panchayat. So under this, the district administration officials like the district SP, district IAS officers, they visit the villages regularly. Sometimes they even do night halts there to understand how things are going and also to help in improving the situation. Several works have been undertaken as a part of Palle Pragati, the sanitation drive, desiltation of small water bodies, etc.
Is it same for anything for urban area?
Yes, sir, there is a similar program, but I'm unable to recall the name. Pattana Pragati, if I'm not wrong.
And your police had a novel scheme or a novel idea called as she teams. Very successful.
Yes, sir.
So how this functions?
Sir, she teams, the objective of she teams is to focus on the safety of women in the state, but mainly in the limits of GHMC area. So every police station has a separate she team, which focuses on taking complaints and dealing with it. So it's a vertical within the police station, but also we also have separate she police stations or the women police stations, which is the apex body for handling the issues related to she team. And she team members, it's not only police officers, but also they have recruited volunteers as a part of community policing. So women and even men are allowed to join the volunteer program, and they patrol in areas where women tend to be teased or harassed, such as the bus stations or the metro rail.
And your state increased the retirement age of state government employees to 61 years. Is it true?
Yes, it has.
So where the unemployment is very high, and specifically in your state, I believe that your state also promised more number of government employment for the youth of Telangana after formation of the state. Yes. By increasing the retirement age, is it not resulting in more unemployment?
Yes, sir, I agree to some extent that this compromises our goal of providing more jobs to the youth. But at the same time, the government is fast tracking the process of publishing the job notifications for vacancies lying in the several state departments.
Is it good idea to increase the retirement age?
Sir, in this situation, I do not.
Central government job, what is the retirement age?
Sir, I believe it's 59.
Then your state is 61. Why is it so?
Sir, the government has increased the retirement age. It has been a long-held promise, the election promise by the government. So I believe it's partly political, but it's also true that that Telangana is one of the states which is going to see aging of the population coming ahead in the future years. So it's a pragmatic step, in fact, keeping future in mind, that we increase the working age of the population.
So experience of the seniors can be used. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Very good, Harathi. All questions were been asked from socio-economic outlook of Telangana. I covered.
Yes, sir.
I read from 10 o'clock to 11:45.
Yes, sir.
I think more than you.
Yes.
So all the questions were been asked. Very good, the same. And some factual information. No, in the beginning itself, 23 states, 33 states, yes, 10 districts, 33 districts.
Yes, sir. I actually forgot.
Central government retirement age, that also you have to look into 60. Yes. Everything is all right. Everything is very good.